Yes, I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. I've got to apologise. My first live stream went didn't go too well. Apparently, there was some problems with my browser. It wasn't so much my Wi-Fi, but just been told by my brother. Well, actually, just to do it again. Make make sure that everything is up and running. So I had to reboot the Wi-Fi. I rebooted my computer, and hopefully this time round there's going to be any problems. And yeah, so let's see. So yeah, so first time round, I was actually talking about Santi Carzola. Yes, a little maestro, a little magician, number 19, ex-Arsenal player, who actually left in 2017, and it appears that Arsenal are working behind the scenes to give him one last goodbye stroke game. Is it true? Does he deserve it? Uh, I'm not sure. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, like, and share to Cannon Fodder on all platforms so you can receive all the latest and greatest news right here on Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. So, second time round, we're going to be talking about Santi Cazorla again. So, the reports are that Raul Sanheli and Arsenal are working on trying to get Santi Cazorla a last hurrah or a last goodbye. We know that he left in 2017 on a free. He had some serious Achilles problems where he was actually told that his career could be probably be ended. And he left. He didn't get to say goodbye to his teammates. Went to Villarreal. He's playing very, very well. He remains a real crowd favourite amongst the Arsenal favourites, and so much so that he's featured as well internationally for Spain. So the question is actually put on our Twitter feed: is that does Santi Cazorla deserve to have one last goodbye? Does Santi Cazorla deserve to have one last game at Emirates? And so the votes at the moment stands at 87.5% of people saying yes, it's well overdue, and 12.5% of the votes say no, no, Santi Cazorla doesn't deserve a last goodbye because he's now an ex-player, and it's been the best part of 3 seasons. Like I said, Ralston Helly has some connections with Carzola's agent, and again, it's going to be quite a complicated situation if Arsenal can pull it off because Carzola is still signed to Villarreal. I mean, when can they fit this game in? You know, is it going to be? I don't know. How can they do it? But one thing is for sure is that Santi Cazorla has always dreamed of putting on the red and white of Arsenal for one last time. So again, I think what we'll do actually, I did say this in my first attempt, is that we'll put it out to you guys live on air now. Should Santi get one last game? Does he deserve to have one last game at Arsenal to say his goodbyes and everything else under the sun? So that's one thing. Um, Come into the chat. Let me know, what you guys think. I know Ray from on the first one, who really told me his thoughts. He did actually say that Santi Cazorla is a type of player that we have missed in the midfield. I wholeheartedly agree with Ray from Arsenal Fan Circle. As well as his trickery, because I remember seeing Santi Cazorla in 2015, and that game was against Newcastle where he scored a brace. Absolutely fantastic player. So again, come into the chat. Let me know what you think. That's one thing. The other thing I want to talk about very briefly, there's been some talk about Matteo Guendouzi, and it appears that his attitude has got him into hot water. Yes, hot water, with the head coach, Mikel Arteta. I said it on my first attempt, I'm going to say it again, that with Matteo Guendouzi, I'm not his biggest fan. I'm not. I just don't see what he brings, to the team. When I look at all the other players that have gone on loan, Nketiah went on loan, Reece Nelson went on loan, Smith Rowe has gone on loan, Mateo hasn't gone on loan, and I just don't see what he brings. We've got a current ice bucket challenge between myself and my brother, where we're going to see, whether he's going to score or not. I don't believe he's going to score anytime soon, and his chances have diminished because of his attitude. He hasn't had the best of role models around him, has he really? Because he's probably thinking, well, all those other players, I'm not going to mention their names, they're probably doing all these things there. He's probably thinking, right, I could probably do the same thing. Mikel Arteta has clearly said to him, no, you don't come with that attitude. So unless you can prove yourself, you're going to be dropped. And that's what's happened. He's been dropped because of his attitude. But remember, he's only 20. Guendouzi has just turned 20. So you're going to expect that. But on the other hand, Mikel Arteta is not going to suffer fools gladly. And so for that reason, you probably won't see Guendouzi, anytime soon back in the starting 11. Right. So that's that out of the way. Sorry, guys. Let's have a look. Does anybody come in want to ask any questions? Just a quick reminder, the next segment is going to be the Easy Talk this coming Friday. I'm hoping to have a couple of guests who have promised me that they'll be available for this coming Friday's Easy Talk. It's going to be a bite size. I think people will tend to like the shorter version, unless it's a real in-depth segment that we usually do. But usually these days we've been doing a shorter bite size, which is maybe maximum 50 minutes, not longer than that. We'll also have the fan comments every Monday, 5:30, where I have a selection of panelists. On Monday, we had James Rowe, IG, as well as Stan the Man, or Stan the Geezer, as I like to call him, just going through European football. So make sure you tune in either on a Monday, 5:30 UK time, or Fridays at 7 p.m. UK time. Get into the chat. Oh, and the other segment, Stan the Man, is Gooners of Vancouver. Whenever they do their post-game reaction, make sure you go into the comments box, tell Stan the Man what you think about the game or their thoughts. Fantastic segment on Cannon 4 TV. Brilliant. Right, so nobody has come into the chat. Let me just quickly check the current situation with the poll that we put on Twitter. Right, so it's changed slightly. So it's now 80% of the votes say yes, it's way overdue, and 20% of the votes say no. Santi Carzola is an ex-player and he doesn't deserve to have a last game to put on the red and white of Arsenal. Right, okay. Unless there's anybody else who wants to come to the chat or comment, I think we're done and dusted. It was just a very short video, just as speak about Santi Carzola, the magician who Ray said that we miss this type of player, and also to talk about Matteo Guendouzi. He's got himself in a little bit of hot water, hasn't he? Dearie me. Just one more before I log off. On here, well, goodbye for everything's given us. Well, again, I'm just going to reports I've seen on some social media networks there. If it does happen, it's going to be a very, very complicated process because he's still contracted to play under, Villarreal. When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? So as much as he wants to have that final dream come true, is he going to get that opportunity? I'm not absolutely sure. So, again, guys, I can see there's three of you coming into the chat, on the live stream. Let me know what you think. The vote we put out, excuse me, on Twitter currently stands at 80% of the votes think, Santi deserves this last hurrah, and 20% of the people think, no, he doesn't. It's 3 seasons too late. Me, myself, and I would love to see him get one opportunity. And the other thing I was thinking about, do you think Santi could probably play a part behind the scenes, with the Mikel Arteta revolution at Arsenal. Do you think he could play a part now? We need to see more of the ex-players, literally working behind the scenes to support these players at Arsenal. But do you think Carzola could maybe feature, in the training of these players there? Could we give a testimonial match at Arsenal? Yeah, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. But I think once his time is over at Villarreal, because he left Arsenal, he's playing for Villarreal, and he's also turned out for the international team as well, Spanish team. So all that talk about him, probably ending his career with the Achilles problem. He's worked his socks off to get back in tip-top form at the age of 35. Right. Okay, it's just one final check. Right, so the vote still currently stands at 80% of the people. When the voters say, yeah, he deserves the last game, and 20% of the votes say, no, he's an ex-player. It's been too long a time that he's not played for Arsenal. So that is it. Guys, remember again, make sure you subscribe, like, and share to Cannon 4 TV on all platforms, not only on Twitter, on Facebook, make sure as well on YouTube. This terrible cover I can't get rid of. And so you can receive all the latest, greatest news right here on Cannon 4 TV. I think that is it. Make sure the next thing I might do a preview of Arsenal versus Olympiacos on Thursday. And also look out for Goodness Vancouver, which is headed by Stan the Man, or Stan the Geezer, as I call him. And there'll also be the Easy Talk come this Friday. It's going to be a fun-packed week. Anyhow, if you've been wondering who or what you've been watching for the second time, you've been watching Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over the world. And it could be a welcome back for Santi Carzola.